My grandmother changed her will and left everything, $420,000, to my sister. She told me, "You don't deserve anything." For 6 months, I didn't call, didn't visit. At the hospital, my grandmother texted me. I smiled and walked in. Then I showed her what the lawyer had found. She said, "Your sister actually?" Her voice just stopped. "Let me tell you how we got here." I was sitting in my car outside Mercy General, phone in my hand, reading the text my grandmother had sent 15 minutes earlier. "Please come, room 412, I need to see you." 6 months, that's how long it had been since I'd spoken to her. 6 months since she sat in her living room, my sister beside her on the sofa, and told me I was getting nothing. That everything would go to Rebecca because Rebecca understood family. Because Rebecca visited every week. Because I was too busy with my career to care about the people who raised me. I looked at that text for a long time, then I picked up my phone and called Patricia Reyes, my attorney. "It's time," I said. "Bring everything. I need to back up. You need to understand what my family thought of me, what they'd always thought of me. Growing up, I was the difficult one. That's what my mother called me. Difficult. Rebecca was easy. Rebecca was sweet. Rebecca helped with Sunday dinners and remembered everyone's birthdays and never asked questions. I asked questions. I wanted to know why things were the way they were. Why my grandmother gave Rebecca a check for $5,000 when she graduated high school, but gave me a savings bond that wouldn't mature for 10 years. "Rebecca needs help getting started," my grandmother said. "You'll figure it out on your own. You always do." I did figure it out. I worked 3 jobs through college. I graduated with a degree in finance and $17,000 in debt. Rebecca got her real estate license and moved into my grandmother's guest house rent-free. When I got my first job at a wealth management firm, my mother told me to be realistic. "You're not a people person," she said. "Maybe try something in the back office, filing, data entry, something stable." I had just signed my first client, a retired surgeon with $1.2 million in assets. I didn't correct her. I went home and opened a separate bank account that day. My family had this way of talking about money around me, like I wouldn't understand. At Thanksgiving dinners, my uncle would discuss his portfolio. My grandmother would mention her investments. Rebecca would nod along like she followed every word. When I asked a question, a real question about asset allocation or tax implications, my uncle would pat my hand. "Don't worry about all that," he'd say. "Rebecca's got a good head for this stuff." Rebecca sold 3 houses her first year. My grandmother threw her a party, called everyone we knew. When I mentioned I'd brought in 4 clients with a combined portfolio value of $800,000, my mother said, "That's nice, honey. Did you try the ham? Your grandmother made it special." The pattern was clear. Rebecca was the success. I was the one who tried hard. Rebecca understood money. I just worked with it. 3 years into my career, I had a choice. Stay at the firm where I was making $85,000 a year or branch out on my own. My mother told me not to be stupid. "You have a good job," she said. "Benefits, stability, why would you risk that?" I filed my LLC paperwork the next week. I didn't tell anyone. Building my client base took 2 years. I worked from a small office I rented above a dry cleaner. My overhead was low. My hours were brutal. I brought my lunch every day and drove a 12-year-old Honda. My family saw the car, the cheap office space, the long hours. They saw what they wanted to see. Rebecca bought a new Lexus that year. My grandmother told everyone how proud she was. At Christmas, my aunt asked what I was doing for work. I told her I had my own practice. She said, "Oh, how sweet, like a little business." I had 43 clients at that point. My revenue for the year was $307,000. I smiled and said, "Something like that." The close calls started after my daughter was born. Emma. I had her when I was 31. My family threw a baby shower. My sister gave me a gift card to Target. My grandmother gave me a crib she'd found at a consignment shop. "I know money's tight," she said. "Every little bit helps." I had $168,000 in business accounts and another $92,000 in personal savings. I just signed a contract with a corporate client worth $215,000 over 3 years. I said thank you and set up the crib in Emma's nursery. When Emma was 2, my grandmother started talking about college funds. "Rebecca and I have been discussing it," she said. We were at Sunday dinner. Rebecca was there with her husband, Mark, my uncle and aunt, my mother. "We think it's important to help the grandchildren." She pulled out an envelope and handed it to Rebecca. "This is the start of the college fund for the twins." Rebecca's twins were 6 months old. The check was for $25,000. "That's so generous," Rebecca said. She looked at me. "Maybe Emma can share some of Rebecca's hand-me-downs." "Save you some money?" My grandmother nodded. Every penny counts when you're raising a child alone. I'd been married for 3 years. My husband Daniel was a software engineer, but he traveled for work, so my family rarely saw him. In their minds, I was functionally single, struggling, in need of help I was too proud to ask for. That's very thoughtful, I said. I had $73,000 in Emma's 529 plan. I'd been contributing since the day she was born. I excused myself to the bathroom and texted Daniel. They did it again. He texted back, "How much longer are you going to let this go on?" I didn't have an answer. The final close call came at Rebecca's twins' 3rd birthday party. It was at my grandmother's house. Huge backyard, caterers, a bounce house. My grandmother had paid for all of it. Emma was 5. She was playing with the other kids when my mother pulled me aside. "I need to talk to you about something," she said. She looked uncomfortable. "Your grandmother is getting older. She's been talking about her will." I waited. "She wants to make sure the money goes where it will do the most good. Rebecca has the twins. She's building a life, a family." My mother paused. "You're doing fine on your own. You always have. Your grandmother thinks you don't really need the inheritance." Something in my chest went very still. "What exactly are you saying?" "She's leaving everything to Rebecca. The house, the investments, all of it." My mother put her hand on my arm. "I know it might seem unfair, but Rebecca will share. When the time comes, you know she will." I looked across the yard. Rebecca was laughing with my aunt. My grandmother was watching the twins in the bounce house. No one was looking at me. "Okay," I said. My mother blinked. "Okay? If that's what Grandma wants, okay." She looked relieved. "I knew you'd understand. You've always been so independent." I called Patricia Reyes the next morning. "I need to start moving assets," I said. "I need everything documented, and I need to know exactly what my options are if this goes where I think it's going." Patricia had been my attorney for 4 years. She knew my family situation. "What's your timeline?" she asked. "I don't know," I said, "but I want to be ready." I spent the next 3 years being ready. I restructured my business. I moved assets. I documented every interaction, every slight, every casual cruelty that my family thought was kindness. I built something they couldn't see, and I waited. The call came on a Tuesday in March. My grandmother had had a stroke. She was in the hospital. She was asking for Rebecca. I sent flowers. Rebecca called me that night. "Mom said you're not coming to visit." "I'm busy," I said. "She's your grandmother." "I know who she is." There was a pause. "She's going to be okay. The doctor said she'll recover." "But she's been talking about making everything official. With the will, she wants to do it while her mind is clear." "That's good," I said. "Clarity is important." 2 weeks later, my grandmother was released from the hospital. She called a family meeting. Everyone gathered at her house. Everyone except me. I told Rebecca I had a client meeting. It wasn't a lie. I did have a meeting. I just rescheduled it. Rebecca called me after. "It's done," she said. "She signed the new will today." Everything comes to me. "Congratulations," I said. "Don't be like that." "Like what?" "Cold." "This isn't personal. She's just doing what she thinks is best." "I'm sure she is," I said. "She wanted me to tell you that she still loves you. She just doesn't think you need her money the way I do." I was sitting in my office. Through the window, I could see the city skyline. My client portfolio had hit 8.3 million the week before. I'd just hired my 3rd associate. My business valuation, according to Patricia and the accountant she'd recommended, was somewhere north of 2 million. "Tell Grandma I understand," I said. Rebecca hesitated. "Are you okay?" "I'm fine." "You don't sound fine." "Rebecca, I have to go. Give Grandma my love." I hung up. Then I opened my laptop and pulled up the file Patricia and I had been building. 3 years of documentation, financial records, texts, emails, recorded conversations from Sunday dinners where my family discussed my supposed financial struggles. I read through it all one more time. Then I closed the file and went home to my daughter. 6 months passed. I didn't call. I didn't visit. My mother left voicemails. "Your grandmother is asking about you. She misses you. Can't you just stop by?" I deleted them. Rebecca texted. "You're being childish. She's 91 years old. How much longer do you think she has?" I didn't respond. At Emma's 7th birthday party, my mother showed up uninvited. She brought a present, a stuffed animal from the drugstore. Emma said thank you and put it with her other gifts. Gifts from her friends, a new tablet from Daniel and me, a bicycle we'd surprised her with that morning. My mother watched Emma ride the bike around the driveway. "That must have been expensive," she said. "It was fine," I said. "I wish we could do more, but you know how it is. Your grandmother's medical bills have been piling up. Rebecca's been helping her manage everything." I nodded. "She's been asking about you," my mother said. "She's hurt that you've cut her off." "I haven't cut anyone off," I said. "I've been busy. Too busy for family." I looked at my mother, really looked at her. She believed what she was saying. She genuinely thought I was the problem, the ungrateful daughter who'd abandoned her grandmother over money. Yes, I said, too busy. She left 20 minutes later. Emma asked why Grandma seemed upset. I told her sometimes adults disagree and it takes time to work things out. She accepted that and went back to her party. That night, Daniel asked me when I was going to do something. You have everything documented, he said. Patricia's ready, what are you waiting for? I don't know, I said, but I did know. I was waiting for the right moment. The moment where it would matter, where the impact would be complete. That moment came in October. My grandmother had another stroke, smaller this time. She was in the hospital for observation. Rebecca called me. She's asking for you, she keeps saying your name. I'm working, I said. For God's sake, she might die. She's been dying for 6 months, Rebecca, according to you. Silence. Then what's wrong with you? Nothing's wrong with me. Then prove it, come see her. One visit, that's all she wants. I thought about it, thought about my grandmother in that hospital bed, thought about everything she'd said to me over the years, everything she'd assumed, everything she'd decided about my life without ever asking. I'll think about it, I said. The text came 3 days later. Please come. Room 412, I need to see you. I sat in my car reading it, then I called Patricia. Bring everything, I said. She met me in the hospital parking lot. She was carrying a leather portfolio. Inside were 3 years of documentation, bank statements, business valuations, tax returns, a full accounting of everything I'd built while my family watched me struggle. Are you sure about this? Patricia asked. Yes, I said. It's going to hurt her. I know. Patricia handed me the portfolio. Then let's go. We took the elevator to the 4th floor. I could feel my heart beating, not from fear, from something else, anticipation. I'd been waiting for this, building toward it, and now it was here. Room 412 was at the end of the hall. The door was open. I could see my grandmother in the bed. Rebecca was there, my mother, my uncle. They all looked up when I walked in. You came, my grandmother said. Her voice was weak. She looked smaller than I remembered. Older. I came, I said. Rebecca stood. I'll give you two some privacy. No, I said. Stay, all of you. This involves everyone. My mother frowned. What's going on? I set the portfolio on the rolling table next to my grandmother's bed. Grandma, you texted me because you wanted to see me. Here I am. But before we talk, there's something I need to show you. My grandmother's eyes moved to the portfolio. What is that? This, I said, is everything you decided I didn't deserve. I opened it. The first page was a summary. Patricia had prepared it. Clean, professional, devastating in its simplicity. I turned it toward my grandmother. This is my business valuation as of last month. $2.4 million. This is my client portfolio. $9.1 million in assets under management. This is my personal net worth. $1.8 million, not including my business equity. The room was completely silent. Rebecca leaned forward. What? I pulled out the next page. This is Emma's college fund. $147,000. Fully funded through her undergraduate degree at any university in the country. This is my retirement account. $406,000. This is the investment property Daniel and I bought last year, valued at $630,000. We rent it out. Cash flows $3,200 a month. My mother made a small sound. I didn't look at her. This, I said, pulling out another page, is a record of every Sunday dinner for the past 3 years where you discussed my financial situation, where you assumed I was struggling, where you decided I needed help I was too proud to ask for. My grandmother's hand was shaking. She was staring at the numbers. You told me I didn't deserve your inheritance because I was too focused on my career, I said. You were right. I was focused on my career. This is what that focus built. Rebecca's voice came out wrong, tight. You've had this the whole time? Yes. And you let us think. I didn't let you think anything, I said. You assumed, you saw what you wanted to see, I just didn't correct you. My uncle was reading over my grandmother's shoulder. His face had changed. Jesus Christ. Why didn't you tell us? My mother asked. Her voice was shaking. Would it have mattered? I looked at her, really looked at her. If I had told you 5 years ago that I was making $300,000 a year, would you have believed me? Or would you have found another reason to decide Rebecca needed it more? No one answered. I turned back to my grandmother. You left everything to Rebecca because you thought she understood family, because she visited, because she needed help. Here's what you didn't know. I pulled out another page. This is Rebecca's financial history for the past 3 years. The information is public record. Property taxes, business licenses, court filings. Rebecca went very still. What did you do? I didn't do anything, I said. I just looked, same as anyone could look. I set the page in front of my grandmother. Rebecca's been taking loans from you. 50,000 3 years ago, 30,000 2 years ago, 75,000 last year, all of it documented as gifts in your bank statements. But she told you it was for the twins' education, for medical expenses, for her business. My grandmother's eyes moved to Rebecca. This, I continued, is Rebecca's actual spending record: the Lexus, the vacation to Hawaii, the kitchen renovation, the country club membership. None of it went to the twins. None of it went to education or medical care. You had no right, Rebecca said. Her voice was shaking now. I had every right, I said. You were taking money from our grandmother while telling her I didn't care about family. While watching her cut me out of the will because I was too independent. You were stealing from her, Rebecca. I wasn't stealing. She gave it to me. Under false pretenses. That's called fraud. The word hung in the air. My grandmother was staring at Rebecca now. Is this true? Rebecca opened her mouth, closed it, opened it again. I was going to pay it back. With what? I asked. Your real estate commissions. You've sold 4 houses in 3 years. Your total income was $97,000. The loans total $155,000. The math doesn't work, Rebecca. My mother stepped forward. This is between them. You don't need to. No, my grandmother said. Her voice was stronger now, sharp. Let her finish. I pulled out the final page. This is the will you signed 2 weeks ago. Everything to Rebecca. $420,000 in liquid assets. The house valued at $380,000. Total estate value of $800,000. I paused. In your state, if the beneficiary has defrauded the testator, the will can be contested, successfully. Rebecca's face had lost all its color. You wouldn't. I already have, I said. Patricia filed the preliminary paperwork yesterday. We were waiting to see if Grandma would talk to me first, if she'd ask questions, if she'd want to know the truth before she died. My grandmother was looking at me now, really looking at me. I saw the moment it hit her, the full weight of what she'd done. What she'd assumed, what she'd destroyed. You let me, she whispered. You let me believe you were struggling. Yes, I said. Why? Because you wanted to believe it, I said. Because it was easier. Because Rebecca was the good granddaughter and I was the difficult one. Because you'd already decided who I was and nothing I said would have changed your mind. She closed her eyes. A tear ran down her cheek. I'm sorry. I know you are, I said. Now, Rebecca was breathing hard. What do you want, money? That what this is about? No, I said. I don't need your money. I never did. I want you to understand what you did, what you all did. I looked around the room, at my mother, my uncle. You spent years making me feel small, making me feel like I wasn't enough, like I'd never be enough, and I let you, because I was building something you couldn't see, something you'd never believe unless I showed you exactly what it was. I closed the portfolio. Grandma, I don't want your money. Keep it. Give it to Rebecca, donate it, I don't care. But I need you to know that when you told me I didn't deserve it, you were right. Not because I'm not successful, not because I don't care about family, but because I don't need it. I never did. My grandmother was crying now, really crying. Your sister, she said. Your sister actually, her voice stopped, just stopped. She couldn't finish the sentence. The doctor came in then, saw my grandmother's distress, started asking questions. I stepped back, let them work. Patricia touched my arm. We should go. We walked out of the room, down the hall, into the elevator. Neither of us spoke until we got to the parking lot. How do you feel? Patricia asked. I don't know, I said, and I didn't. There was no satisfaction, no triumph, just a strange, hollow emptiness where I'd expected vindication to be. She'll change the will, Patricia said. Probably within the week. I know. Do you want me to proceed with the fraud case against Rebecca? I thought about it. About Rebecca's face when she realized I'd documented everything. About the way my mother had looked at her. About my grandmother's tears. No, I said. Let it go. The point was never to destroy them. It was just to make them see. Patricia nodded. I'll file the withdrawal paperwork tomorrow. I drove home. Daniel was waiting. Emma was asleep. I told him everything. He held me while I cried. I hadn't expected to cry. But once I started, I couldn't stop. It's done, he said. It's done, I agreed. The settlement came through 3 weeks later. My grandmother revised her will, split everything 50-50 between Rebecca and me. Rebecca had to pay back the fraudulent loans. My grandmother sold the house and moved into a smaller condo. My mother called to tell me it was my fault, that I'd humiliated the family. That I'd broken my grandmother's heart. I didn't argue, there was nothing left to say. Rebecca sent me an email. One line, I hope you're happy now. I deleted it. Emma asked me once why we didn't see Grandma anymore. I told her that sometimes people grow apart, that it's sad but it happens, that it doesn't mean anyone is bad, it just means sometimes love isn't enough. She thought about that. Then she asked if we could get ice cream. We got ice cream. My business hit $3 million in valuation 6 months after the hospital. I hired 2 more associates, opened a second office. Emma started 2nd grade. Daniel got promoted. We bought a bigger house. I saw my grandmother one more time at my uncle's funeral. She was smaller, frailer. She looked at me across the cemetery. I looked back. We didn't speak. Rebecca was there with the twins. They were in private school now, wearing uniforms. She'd gotten a job as a bank teller after her real estate business folded. She didn't look at me at all. My mother tried to hug me. I let her, but I didn't hug back. On the drive home, Emma asked if I was sad. I told her yes. She asked why. I said because death is sad, even when things are complicated. She accepted that. My grandmother died 2 years later. The will held 50-50 split. My half came to $210,000. I put it all in Emma's college fund. She'll have everything paid for now, undergraduate, graduate school if she wants it, everything. Rebecca got her half too. Last I heard, she used it to pay off the debts from the fraudulent loans and buy a smaller house. The twins are fine. They're doing well in school. My mother and I talk maybe twice a year. Holidays, birthdays, the conversations are short, polite, empty. I don't regret what I did, but I don't celebrate it either. It wasn't a victory. It was just the truth, finally visible, finally real. Emma's 10 now. She's smart, curious. She asks a lot of questions. She's a lot like me. Last week she asked if I had a grandmother. I told her yes. She asked if her great-grandmother had been a good person. I thought about that, about all the ways to answer that question. She did the best she could with what she knew, I said finally. We all do. Emma nodded. Then she asked if we could watch a movie. We watched a movie. I still run my business. My client portfolio is at $14.2 million now. I have 6 associates. We're opening a 3rd office next month. I'm thinking about writing a book about financial planning for women. About building wealth quietly, about the power of being underestimated. Daniel thinks I should do it. Emma says I should put her picture in it. I told her I'd think about it. At night, sometimes, I think about that hospital room, about my grandmother's face when she saw the numbers, about Rebecca's voice when she realized I'd been documenting everything, about the moment they understood that I'd never needed saving, that I'd saved myself. I don't feel triumphant. I just feel tired. But Emma's college is paid for. My business is thriving. My marriage is strong. I built all of this while they watched me struggle, and now they know that's enough. So did I go too far or not far enough? Tell me in the comments.